Hello, everyone. Come in, hit that like and share button, and invite other people in on the live stream. I want to begin the live stream talking about President Biden's decision today to release 15 million. Yes, you heard it right. 15 million reserves. 15 million reserves of oil to lower and attempt to lower gas prices. Now, if you know anything about how that works in oil and lowering gas prices, you know that that move is only made for emergencies. That's like deciding that you're going to use your credit card, right? Especially when you don't have the cash flow to pay down the balance. That's definitely going to drive up the national debt even more. But even bigger than that, in my opinion, even bigger than the national debt, because the national debt is just out of control, right? It's in the trillion. So we're just going to let that max out. But what's even bigger than the national debt, in my opinion, is it's going to be a very cold winter. As the Game of Thrones state, people, winter is coming already. Energy bills right now, people cannot afford their energy bills, right? We got people behind on their utility bills. Now you see more than ever water crisis from Mississippi to Kentucky to other areas of the state where people do not have clean, fresh water, and pulling on the United States reserves in a time and at a astronomical number of 15 million in the reserves in a time that we are entering a winter season. Now, I don't know if you all believe in HARP. I don't know if you believe in the manipulation of the weather, but in my state, we just had 2 days of very winter-like conditions where it was just freezing, below freezing, and then going into the next couple of days is going to be in the 80s, in the mid 80s. There are some states in the northern states where there's already winter snow happening in mid October. So these are four signs, four warnings that we're going to have a very cold winter. According to my elderly people that I talk to, my aunts, elderly, I was about to say ancestors, but, um, my elderly community, we've experienced record high number of heat, right? This year, this summer, record number of heat. Let me try to fix my hair, you all. And according to the elderly, whenever you see record high number of heating temperatures, you're going to see a very, very cold winter following that. And we're already seeing signs that this is going to be a winter like no other. Now, why is that important? Well, because during the winter seasons, gas prices automatically increase more because of the chemical change in gas during winter months versus summer months. So already that was going to be automated. Back in April, and I'm going to show you all a clip. April, gas stations were already preparing for, check this out, $10 a gallon gas. They were not doing this as, oh, precautionary. Let's just be prepared. It's better to be prepared um, than, proactive versus reactive. No, they knew that gas prices were going to head to this price. And I saw some comments I watched some news clips today, and it was discussing about Biden's plan or his decision rather, how he's decided already to release 15 million oil reserves, barrels worth of barrels of oil. And I don't know if you all know, but our president or any president does not have the power or the ability to make oil companies drill more oil. Now, we already know that the Biden administration decided to go green with the green energy and has already stated that federal land in some areas cannot drill for oil, but in the areas that oil can be drilled, oil companies, I don't know if you all knew this, have decided to not drill. And why drill when they can just make, listen, oil companies have made 70 billion with a B, billionaires, profit already from high gas prices. So if you are, and President Biden is begging them to lower the price, to start more drilling, to help the consumers. But hey, I made this post on my Facebook page, right? Um, Rich people pray for recessions. They pray for times like these because they understand they get richer in recessions. Middle class people pray against recessions because they don't want to prepare, they don't want to plan, they don't want to partake of any change financially. They want things to remain the same. And when you really read and study Matthew 25:3, that's the mindset of the servant or the worker that had 1 ounce of gold. That was his mindset. Okay, I see someone has already texted cash flow 254-788-1144. And I'll tell you why that number is on the screen. But that was the mindset of, in Matthew 25, of the worker who received money according to his skill set or talent or ability or whatever you want to phrase it as, right? His mindset was, I want to stay middle class. I want to stay comfortable. I don't want to change. I don't want to go in the marketplace. I don't want to double my money. I don't want to learn about finances. I'm just going to take this one silver coin, gold. I do have some news about silver. I probably need to make that announcement. And I'm going to hide it. I'm not going to multiply it. I'm not going to maximize it. I'm not going to increase it. I'm getting money for my ability. That sounds like people that work a job, right? They get money for their skill set on a job according to their ability, and they don't multiply or maximize the money. Listen, I haven't asked you all to do this in a long time, but do this for me. I want you to make a mind message, right? Connection. And I want you to put in the comments, whether you are watching this live or on the replay, I want you to put credit is cash flow. I want you all to understand it. I'm going to break down for you all some strategies to increase your cash flow. And therefore, your cash flow can now produce you assets, right? I want you to put in the comment section, hello everyone coming in, Dr. Forms, my business partner. We have a wonderful business in a wonderful way. We offer wonderful services for wonderful pay. I want you all to put in the comment section that credit is cash flow. That's number one. When you have bad credit, oftentimes that's connected with negative cash flow. Let me fix this. Move this over some. Credit is cash flow. Please understand that, people. Credit is cash flow. Please understand that. Hello, Judith. When you have bad credit, that correlates to negative cash flow. Because especially if you're paying out high interest rates to things that you have financed under the banks. So you're paying out high interest rates for the banks, which means less cash flow for you and your household. So thank you for, I think that's Jomi. Credit is cash flow. And listen, these two announcements before I just go on talking about gas will possibly hit $10 this winter, and why, after President Biden decided to release $15 million worth of gas in the reserves, right? I was studying some things. I'm always studying about money and finances. And the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Mr. RK himself, Robert Kiyosaki, the greatest in the money game, the best that's ever done it, and probably in my opinion that will do it. I don't know. Warren Buffett, they are great investors, but when it comes to the education, to simplify it, Robert Kiyosaki is the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time, right? And so I looked at these money lessons from Robert Kiyosaki, and I'm going to read and recite some of them for you. Number one, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. Now, often rich and wealthy people say this because when you are in America, right? I don't know if you all know this, but about 70% of Americans average about $50,000 income. People, you got to get your money up. So this is usually a quote that rich and wealthy people use. I'm going to break down the difference between rich and wealthy as well because a lot of people don't know the difference between rich and wealthy. So it's not about money, how much money, let me fix this, you make. It's about how much money you actually keep, right? Now, one of the rules that Warren Buffett lives by, that he insists that what the rich do not want you to know, do not want the middle class to know, or the poor working class. He insists that the rich does not want the poor working class to know that you have to pay yourself first. In order to pay yourself first, people, that means you have to pay federal, especially if you earn a paycheck, you have to pay federal less. Most people cannot pay themselves first, right? Because they're getting taxed out of their paycheck anywhere from 28 to 33%. And then they have insurances, big business that come out the paycheck, from vision insurance, dental insurance, health insurance, cancer insurance, accidental insurance, paycheck protection insurance. And then you have social media gurus who come in and convince people you need to also get life insurance. And then they convince people also of cash value life insurance or index universal life. Now, I'm not saying they are wrong for suggesting that, but it's levels to this, and some people should start off with term insurance first. I'm going to get into why I wholly believe that, especially as we're going into recession and depression. The number two lesson, the poor and the middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them. One of the key educational components or emphasis of Robert Kiyosaki is rich people do not work for money. They have their money work for them. And through their business skills and their thinking, not their labor, right? Or maybe they have generational wealth, but even if it's generational wealth, that money has been put in position to work for them. The poor and the middle class, right? They work for money. People, I'm just telling you all, you got to change your mindset. Even if you're not here yet, you need to be on your way. It starts with your paradigm first and your mindset. I have, like I said, I'm in a hello, everyone that's coming in. I'm in a residual income, cash flow, and business opportunity. And I have people saying that you can invest, or I see some people saying that you can invest $2,000 and in 2 years have $2 million. That's not true. You would never be able to do that in a PRA or a private reserve account or a cash value. I'm just telling you the truth. Now, if you want to hear a pretty lie, you can go to church, some churches, or you can watch the news. Whether if you want to call it the ugly truth, because people listen. The reason why a lot of these, a PRA is nothing but a cash value life insurance policy, right? Most they don't even know that. The reason why they can guarantee you money on an index universal life or a cash value life insurance policy, the reason why they can guarantee you 8 to 10%, for example, is because they already know where to go to invest your money and get 50%, 100% return. So they can promise you, they can guarantee you a little 8 to 10%. But I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna pause for the calls. Hello, Patrice. Thank you for tuning in back to back live streams. Um, you want to invest in assets that appreciate in value and not cash value. Somebody just sent me a message. All right. Not cash value, like real estate and silver and gold. Those are tangible assets that people will always need somewhere to live. In Asia, for example, they are buying up and stocking up on their gold when it goes on sale. Central banks will always have silver and gold because it's God's money and it's money by constitution. Silver is a higher return on your investment than gold. So instead of getting assets that's promised you cash in return, I want you to ask yourself these questions. Can I liquidate when I get ready? When I get ready, this asset that I'm investing in for the reset, can I liquidate it when I get ready? And how does it grow as far as an appreciation? Is the appreciation attached to cash, which is a depreciating asset? Whenever you're getting assets for this reset, I want you all to ask yourself this question. If you're getting assets that's giving you more of this, unless you can immediately liquidate it, I'm not talking about, okay, you got a hold for 2 or 3 years, then you can pull out your PRA or your cash value life insurance or your IUL. Then we're going to give you more cash, but by the time we allow you to get more cash, inflation is going to make that cash be worth less and less anyway. Can you liquidate it? Silver, real estate, gold can be easily liquidated. Cryptocurrency. Now, I know you might be telling me, well, Queen, cryptocurrency can be liquidated for cash, but cryptocurrency is not cash. Cryptocurrency is a virtual asset, and it's a futuristic asset that once you understand how the blockchain works in Web3, that can cut your millionaire or decamillionaire or multimillionaire date in half. Because it is a virtual asset. It is not based on cash. In fact, you don't ever even have to convert it to cash. And the interest rate that it compounds will bring you back way more than 8 to 10% a year. I promise you that. Crypto will outperform. It will put your cash on steroids. So that's why crypto makes sense over these paper insurance policy that's giving you 8 to 10% when inflation on a monthly basis has averaged for 2022 in 1 month an 8 to 10% increase. Number 4 from Robert Kiyosaki, Money Lessons. The single most powerful asset we have is our mind. If it is trained well, it can create enormous wealth. The only reason why I think people do not invest in silver is because they don't have the education behind it. Because it is like some cryptocurrencies right now. Bitcoin is still at 19,000. Ethereum is still at 1,300. But some blue chip cryptos and silver is dirt cheap. The only reason why I think people sleep on silver is they cannot know how undervalued that asset is. Number 5, the rich focus on their asset values while everybody else focus on their income. That is so true, Robert Kiyosaki. You are preaching. You are preaching. How much income am I getting? And I'm not saying don't focus on your income, but see, the rich focus more on how many assets am I stacking. That's why I have my assets on automatic delivery, not in my home. I don't have to budget for. I automatically say, this is coming out of the money that I earn every month like clockwork, because I don't want to get into I want to put my wealth on autopilot. Number 6, people who avoid failure also avoid success. Number 7, most people work all their lives paying for a home they'll never own. That is so powerful. That is so powerful. Paying for a home that they will never own. And if they do have ownership in it, they don't have a trust set up. And then some people don't know the value of real estate, land, and housing. And even if their parents or great grandparents passed them a home, generationally, they will oftentimes let it go for dirt cheap through not paying property taxes. A mortgage-free house, property, land, or a lot, they will let it go and let someone get it dirt cheap and just pay the property taxes on it. The best way to pay down your house, again, credit creates cash flow. And the best way to pay down your home is to attack the principal payment. You need to call your mortgage lender and ask them, because not all mortgages will allow you to do this. Can I start making payments on the principal only? When you start making payments on the principal only, you build up equity quicker. You cut down the front-loaded loan that's loaded with interest. Most people don't even know that they're going to pay 8 times the interest on a loan if they just pay it normal. It does not matter if it's a 15 or 30-year mortgage. So you have to attack the cancer of the loan, which is the principal payments only. Make the principal payments the original amount of the loan without the interest added. The interest is already added on the front end. Most people cannot do this because they're not in positive cash flow to do it. Number 8, if you want something, you have to generate enough cash flow from your assets. In other words, people, purchase your liabilities with assets, not from your 1 or 2 job income streams. Get an asset. If you want a Lambo, get an asset. If you want a Mercedes G-Wagon, get an asset that pays for that. So, okay, let me get the asset first, and then I get the vehicle second. If you want BMW, Mercedes, get an asset that pays the note. I'm not saying I did all of this stuff years ago, because I didn't know it years ago. But I know it now. And as my grandmother would say, when you know better, you do better. I don't get liabilities now without an asset paying for it. I do not. In fact, I don't even pay my mortgage. My tenant pay my mortgage. So I don't pay my mortgage at all. My tenants pay my mortgage. And I have equities not only in my personal real estate, but in my rental units as well. Now, another thing about assets that I said people they cannot. I mean, if you follow Robert Kiyosaki, he teach on real estate, specifically silver for the middle class. He talks about gold, but he also teaches that gold is for kings and silver is for queens. In other words, gold is for millionaires to invest in. Silver is for middle class. He educates on this all the time. Some people are taking their asset class going into this depression very lightly. Very lightly. But if you see the stacking silver to get gold, you're going to be directed to this website. You can watch this 6-minute video. After that, select Get Started. You have 2 options, right? You have the option to become a wealth ambassador, which means you get wholesale customer pricing, which is also preferred customer pricing. Meaning you get the silver at wholesale. But another great point about that is, as you are accumulating assets, you get to earn profits at the same time. In other words, you get paid to invest. So you exchange God's money with government's money at the same time, simultaneously. It's not like you're going on JM Bullion or SD Bullion and you're just investing with your money. They don't pay you to purchase from them. This platform does. And it also gives you an opportunity to create residual income. I'm going to say something real quick about this. Nothing wrong with people with depending on one outside opportunity other than your job for residual income. But any millionaire, and I want you to think about this and think about this hard, they have more than one residual income opportunity. I promise you. You're not going to sit at tables with millionaire and they tell you, I'm just all in on this business. Now, they may have a main business of residual income. That's their main thing. But they have other ways to create residual income. They have other investments. And the issue with most middle class is they want to depend on one or two sources when the Bible says in Ecclesiastes to invest in 7 to 8 different ways because you don't know which one will prosper. And a lot of people, middle class mentality, just have, and listen, I'm proud that at least you have an opportunity outside of your job to create residual income. But I'm following the path of millionaires and decamillionaires and billionaires. They have more than one way to earn residual income, which means they don't have to do earned income work. Princess Goddess, thank you for tuning in, my Patreon member. And thank you for being a Patreon member as well. I'm going to soon update that website. I'm going to add a lot of features on it. I'm planning on doing it by January the 1st. So it's going to have a lot of things about should you establish an LLC, when you should, when you shouldn't, when do you really need an EIN, right? It's going to have some information about credit disputing. I'm going to really upgrade that website. So thank you for being a Patreon member and supporting the channel. I'm going to have some things about credit and Metro 2 disputing put on there. I don't know if you all are familiar with FICO 10, but FICO 10 will be a new type of credit, and that's going to come with FedCoin. Janet Yellen has already announced that the government or the Federal Reserve needs to look at digital currency expeditiously, but they've already said that the first quarter of next year that they're going to bring in FedCoin. So, they're just reaffirming what they're already telling people. Or you can be a preferred customer. You can get the membership pricing, again, wholesale pricing. You have no membership fees and no long-term commitment. Now, let me tell you why this is a great thing, not just a good thing, but a great thing. Because right now, and I purchased it before I went live. Last time they had this available, it was only I think in 30 minutes it sold out. I think it's not sold out. Before I went live, I took care of first things first and I purchased it. Once you become either a preferred member or a wealth ambassador, if you want to get residual income, the 2022 Queen 70 Platinum Jubilee, as of right now, it is available. There's only one limit, one per household. So don't say I didn't tell you, right? As of right now, it's showing it's available. This is why this is a big deal, people. When you invest, also, you have to look at supply and demand. You have to look at supply and demand so you can go to Stacking Silver to get gold. If you're watching me, if you want it, you better get it now. And kind of, ear hustle and multitask and get it while I'm talking. Because it sells out in 30 minutes. So, but with that being said, you want to look at supply and demand when you're investing as well. You want to look at appreciation. You want to look at liquidation. You can liquidate gold and silver real quick, you got silver dealers, pawn shop dealers that I don't recommend pawn shops, but you can if you need to. Very fast. Pawn shop dealers, like with anything, they're gonna offer. I mean, you can buy a television for $1,000. You take it to a pawn shop, they're gonna offer you 100. Right? It's just what they do. They lowball you. But I recommend go ahead and finding dealers. If you're really, really rich and wealthy people, they don't even sell this back, convert it back for cash. They don't. My stacking strategy with silver and gold is to convert it back into real estate. I'm not looking to convert it back. You know, when real estate come on sale, if I convert it back to cash convertibility, um, then that cash is going to be used to invest in real estate. I don't take God's asset and exchange it for government's money. I hope that makes sense to you. Cause that's like, how can I word this? That's like trading in a Lamborghini or a Lambo or Rolls Royce for a Hyundai or a Toyota. I mean, it just don't. And most people they are so cash focused that they're not asset acquisition focused. Asset acquisition. I said that pretty good, didn't I? It's kind of a tongue twister. So silver is going to be used for industrial use. Every rich person and wealthy person right now is getting into commodities and real estate. They get into God's asset. This is why I love teaching from the Bible, because the Bible gives you the game plan to become rich. Whatever the Bible talks about, you should be stacking. Now, investing in real estate is inflated right now. If you can find great deals, great. Most of the deals are overpriced, right? Silver is still underpriced as of right now. Gold is about $1,600 an ounce. Is more than one Ethereum. So your blue chip cryptocurrencies and silver right now are the most undervalued assets that you can have. That you can have. It's the most undervalued assets that you can have. I need something to pin. Oh, I found some. And so, with that being said, people, the shortage of silver will drive prices to a new all-time high. Because when you got electronic vehicles that's going to be made, that's why Joe Biden is selling our oil. They're going to create the crisis. They're going to have a need for electronic vehicles, a demand to go away from gas vehicles. There are some states like California have already passed laws that no more gas, vehicles in a future date. And so when you have Tesla coming in, RFID chips, 5G Wi-Fi, phone batteries, right, and all this technology that's going to bring in cryptocurrency, this is going to make silvers just be of just the lowest investment that you can grab right now and attain with a high ROI, return on investment, other than having a home-based business. Those three things, home-based businesses, which you don't have to have a house to have it, right? You can be an apartment, condo, or townhouse, but anything that's real that you can touch. And again, don't get it confused. Virtual can help you get the tangible. Virtual cryptocurrency can help you get the tangible. You might be thinking, well, Queen, cash is paper, it's real. It's real, but we're heading away from cash. So you have to you have to study the market research and know where this recession, know where the investments and the assets will be. Now, Biden, let me show you all that he is pretty much highly requesting, the article says, implores U.S. oil companies to pass on record profits to consumers. Joe Biden has called on oil companies to pass on their, listen, massive profits to consumers. He announced the release of 15 million barrels of oil from the United States Strategic Petroleum Reserve. He's fighting to keep gas prices in check. I think this may have lowered gas prices from last week, like 7 cents so far, right? But this is a risky move. When you're talking about playing Russian roulette, this is playing Russian roulette. Because those reserves are supposed to be reserved for emergencies only. And helping cut back gas prices for 7 cents, it has not shown to be worth it. So he's doing this ahead of November's midterms. He's blaming Putin and the invasion of UK for the global spike in oil prices and said his administration will do all it can to put it in check. So he's asking U.S. oil companies to help. In the second quarter, you all, of this year, the 6 largest oil companies, people reported profits of $70 billion. And guess what they're doing with their money? They're not saying, okay, let's go and pump some more oil or produce some more oil or drill for some more oil. No, they're investing back and buying back their own stocks. And they are passing their money on to their shareholders and not the consumers. So President Biden is begging, in a sense, pleading that you're sitting on record profits, people. This is why I tell you all, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because it's all about your mindset and your ability to adjust to this financial system that's going to change. So Biden said you should not be using your own profits to buy back stocks for dividends. This is not while the war he's talking about is raging, right? They're not telling their businesses to start drilling more. No, they said we're stopping drilling. We're going to make sure these prices stay high because they're getting rich. Now, whether you like it or not, that's just the game. That's the game. And so if you don't learn how to maximize and make adjustments as well, unfortunately, government is playing poker and some people are playing bingo. And guess what? Some people are on the sidelines. They're not even in the game at all. They're not even in the game at all. Now, this was in April, actually May, that, let me share this, that gas stations were already preparing for $10 a gallon. They was already adjusting the pumps to accept $10 a gallon gas prices. Let me let you all listen in on a little bit of this. If I can.
Oklahoma, Georgia, and Kansas were the last 3 states with average prices under $4 until they crossed the line this week. And there are signs that gas is going to get even more expensive. You won't believe this. In Washington state, they're preparing for $10 a gallon gas. That is according to the Daily Mail. The national gas station chain 76 has begun reprogramming pumps to prepare for $10 gallon fuel.
Oof. This comes as the nation's average is at a whopping $4.75 a gallon, almost twice the $2.41 average during the Trump administration's last month in office.
Oof. Yikes, that is pretty bad. So they have to move the decimal point because when you look at the gas pump, right? So it'll say like $5. Here in California where I am, we're at $6, $6.065. So they're going to have to move the decimal point at those 76 stations to make it so that they can actually go for that $10 a gallon gas. That is outrageous.
I drove to the studio this morning, and I've been taking a scooter to the studio most mornings because the weather's finally nice and I like the scooters. But I drove in this morning and I hadn't driven the car in a couple of days, and I noticed that I'm almost empty, so I'm going to have to fill up on the way home today. So
So people, this was in May. It was in May. So what the Alice said, your fingers broken, please hit the like button. That was in May. Do you think that just went away? Do you think they invested in getting those pumps prepared for $10 gas and we won't see that? LA just 2 weeks ago hit a record high. So this is my, I don't know. I'm not pleading people, I'm not, begging anyone to have on a mindset. All I'm saying is, don't play victim when you didn't do anything to prepare. Don't play victim. Don't pass the blame game. Don't say it's the Democrats' fault. Listen, they sleep in the same bed. Left wing, right wing, same bird. I know they are actors. They put on a great show for you all, and it makes you think that, they are fighting and argumentative with each other. And then when the camera goes off, they go out and have drinks and, laugh it all out. And while you are sitting at the barbershop, beautician, hair salon, beauty salon, etc., having these at the church, having these conversations. One pastor that I know that's preparing his congregation is Pastor Dr. Jamal Bryant. And Bishop T.D. Jakes talks about, I've heard him talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And Prophet Joshua Giles. I'm not saying other churches are not doing it, but those are the ones that I've heard do it. And Prophet Giles even have or had some crypto classes going on at one point in time. I'm not sure if he still does. I also have crypto going on, but I just really haven't talked about cryptocurrency because, again, I'm getting some more things together, and I've talked about cryptocurrency. But if you want that crypto education, right, then you can you can text crypto to 254-788-1144. It's a self-learning class where you can learn how to open up your exchange. You can get the knowledge about these cryptocurrencies so that you can increase your money flow, right, and your cash flow. And you can start investing in them. And then even when the price is in the red, you're not panicking because you know what it's going to do and you know its value. The only people panic about cryptocurrency when the price is in the red is the people that don't have the education behind what they're going to do. They don't know about the blockchain, and they don't know about Metro 3 internet. So I may start teaching. I have to be in a certain mindset to teach about cryptocurrency. But right now, people, you can't even start talking about investing if you're not in positive cash flow and you have bad credit. And that's why I have cash flow on the screen. I think I'm going to change that. I want to change it to, instead of cash flow, I'm going to add to credit. No, I'm going to add credit to cash flow. Because I asked you all, you can text credit to cash flow. Because I asked you all to put in the comments, credit creates cash flow. And for a lot of people, you just need to do the prerequisites. You got to get your credit score increase to increase your cash flow. You got to stop paying out a high interest rate if you want to gain interest. You got to have to be in a comfortable position where you can invest. Investing should be done from a position of being comfortable and not complex or stressed. Don't wish for a pie in the sky and hope to put $100 in Shiba Inu or Dogecoin and think that's going to make you a multimillionaire. Because unfortunately, most people, if they put $100 in SHIB or Dogecoin, if it hit 10,000, they'll cash out at the 10K. Because they don't have the financial education. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You never lose when you cash out on a profit. but you are losing a percentage you gain. A lot of people lose because they don't have the financial education on what they have. They don't know if Doge is a good investment or not. They don't know if Shiba is a good investment. They don't know. I think Ethereum is even better than Bitcoin when you look at its use cases, because Ethereum is like insurance. It is actually backed by contracts. It actually have contractual smart contracts backing by it. But one thing that does not require a whole lot of financial education on is silver and its use cases and God's money. Allison, I know that you just came in, but I was telling everyone that Queen Elizabeth is available in Quicksilver. I think you are a customer there, and I think you're a wealth ambassador. So I'm gonna show that to you. And I'm logging off. I didn't mean for this to go for an hour, but Western investors are now purchasing, dumping gold for silver in Asia and things like that. And so let me log in and show you that. And the reason why I've really been telling people about the Queen Elizabeth silver, it might be sold out by now, Alice, I'm not sure. But the reason why I tell people specifically about the Queen Elizabeth silver is because her portrait will not be on money anymore since the announcement of her death, right? And so because of that, any currency with her portrait on it is going to give, this right now, let me see if I can find it, was already double in a lot of places the price of what Quicksilver, what this platform was offering it on a lot of gold and silver platforms. It's already like a double the price um, from a lot of the platforms. So if they have it in stock. So getting those in stock and opportunity to get credit for it, meaning getting government's money for it, and residual income, that's the game changer. Because when you're purchasing silver and gold, you have to look at the shipping costs added into it, the shipping costs, and they add taxes into the shipping. So just don't look at the shipping costs. So if that's still available, Allison, I just want to put you on game with that. This website, for example, JM Bullion, this right now was out of stock. 2022 1 ounce Australia Queen Silver's Platinum Jubilee. So this one it's limited supply, people, for a reason. That's another thing you need to know about investing. God is not making any more land. God decides. The infinite spirit decides. Infinite God decides when it wants to make more gold and silver. It happens by a supernova star. This is a little different design, but it's sold out. And they sell out fast for a reason, because they're going to be high asset commodities. And so that's going to build equity for you, right? So that's on their website. I'm logging off, and I just want to say this again about high gas prices. The Fed has already said they're going to raise inflation rate. The Fed meets, I think, November the 5th. So in a couple more weeks. High gas prices are forcing job losses as well. This is a bakery in Las Vegas, founded in 1959. The abnormal fees they have to increase their fees and lay off some of their workers. In Vegas, right, their gas is in California at $5 to $6 a gallon right now. So especially if you are in those areas, the West Coast, text credit to cash flow. That's the number 2. If you need credit help or if you need additional cash flow, especially if you have a job, you can get a 24-hour turnaround to reduce the federal taxes out of your paycheck, which then means an increase in the pay for you in your paycheck. On average, people that have joined my team have increased their take-home pay out of their paycheck by using these experts to apply these strategies, because they're overpaying in taxes at a minimum of $300, and that's every paycheck. all the way up. A married couple increased their take-home income $1,400, and the CPA said that they can do this for about 70% of American workers. If you're a small business owner, not all small business owners have good credit, so you can get your personal credit fixed. It takes personal credit to build your business credit. Also, if you're a small business owner, you can get an additional 470 tax deductions. The more tax deductions you get means the more money you can position yourself to get from the Fed versus you paying the Fed, right? About 80% of Americans have their W-4 inadequately completed. Some people have lifestyle change. You got married, you got divorced, you had children. You have not changed your W-4 since you've taken on a job, right? And so that's money you're missing out on. And most people don't understand the W-4. And so with that being said, get the CPAs. Now, a lot of CPAs do not understand it either. Your W-4 tells you how much taxes a month to withhold. A lot of people, however, may have least taxes coming out their paycheck, but they put themselves in a position where they owe taxes because you have to balance that out and have enough tax deductions where you're getting taxed less, but you're not owing a large number of taxes because now you don't have enough tax deductions to claim. Employees only have up to 9 tax exemptions. So this is what texting credit to cash flow is going to help you get. Also, stacking silver to get gold. We have a very powerful group that we have a mastermind of people that invest in silver, and they do other companies and business as well. But we have a great training that can help you not only your mindset, but whatever other business ventures that you're doing, it can help you get we have a millionaire mastermind Mondays, every Monday with the silver, stacking silver to get gold. And guess what? The leader of this is a millionaire business owner, multi-millionaire in fact. He's been on the stage of Grant Cardone, Eric Worre, all the big people in business and network marketing, hangs out with billionaires. And you know what? A part of me, even though I love investing in silver and gold, but I would have gotten this just to be in that Monday Millionaire Roundtable. So if you go to Stacking Silver to get gold and you become a preferred customer, you won't be allowed in that private group, right? Credit to cash flow. I also have a residual income opportunity, and that's led by another trainer in the business as well, who's stacking his assets respectively. He's a multi-thousandaire, if you can say it that way. So all of this, and I think we have a training tonight, but I'm not on it. I need to get on it. But I want to show you all this, and so I can get on that training. People, this is a silver platinum jubilee, 2020, 1 kilo, Queen Elizabeth proof. This is $6,500. 6,000. Now, granted, it is a kilo, but I'm just telling you, that's how big coins and money with her image and portrait on it is going to be. 6,000 on AmpMix. $6,500, and you can get some at least for $100. Again, I don't know if it's still available on their website. They sell out real fast. Let me try to find something else. I want to share this with you all. Let me see. Do I have it up? You're welcome, Patrice. Thank you too, Queen. I appreciate you all, my kings and queens, for joining in. I'm wrapping this up. I want to share this by Warren Buffett. I thought this would add more value to the live stream. What rich people don't want you to know: invest and up. You won't get rich off a salary alone, right? You definitely won't get rich off a job, 2 jobs, or even 3 jobs, right? Inflation steals your wealth, so invest. Buy assets and not liabilities. Never spend more money than you can make. Number 4. Number 5, pay yourself first always. You do this by using the credit to cash flow strategy. You're paying FICO first. You're paying the feds first. People don't pay themselves first. When you give up 28, 33% to the feds and taxes, and then the other percentages to the insurances that come out of your paycheck, you don't have enough left over to pay yourself first, because inflation steals the rest. That's the increased pricing of goods and services. And people, compound interest works wonders. It does. That's the buy and hold strategy. That's why I'm in crypto, and I'm in real estate for the cash flow, and I'm in silver and gold because of the equity. As Beyonce says, pay me in equity and watch me reverse out of debt. So I'm in silver and gold for the equity. And silver and gold is an attractor of wealth. That's why the ancient Egyptians, they always wore, they was lavished in silver and gold. It's an attractor of wealth because it's God's money. You can't get even more spiritual than having your surroundings with real money, with silver and gold. So go to Stack and Silver to get gold and to get your cash flow up so you can have more money to invest, and get your credit score up if that applies to you. Go to Credit to Cash Flow. Text that to 254-788-1144. All of these are extra income, but residual income offers. So you can't go wrong with either one, but you can definitely go right with both. I love you all. My daughter's pulling up. I hear the music pumping. So I'm going to get out this live stream and talk to her and get on my training. Queen out. If you watch this on the replay, please hit that thumbs up. Let's get more likes on YouTube.